Hello there, Capricorn. Thank you so much for stopping by for your monthly tarot video forecast for the month of April. What we're looking at is just one particular life cycle that you're going to be going through the month of April. And a life cycle is something that sets us up to either learn something or experience something. And then as we have that lesson or experience, as we integrate it into our lives, then we see how our lives start to change because of that, and we get ready to move on to the next life cycle coming up. So this is by no means a comprehensive look at your month, Capricorn. So you want to be aware that this is just one major theme that's going to happen for you. And secondly, this is a general reading. There are going to be lots of Capricorns looking at this video once I publish it, and there's no way for me to make it specific so that it's exactly dead on for every single one of you. So for most of you, most of it will fit. For those of you who most of it doesn't fit, you may want to check your rising sign or your moon sign forecasts and see if they hit a little bit more strongly for you for this particular month. But generally, this is for my sun sign Capricorns. Okay, so the other thing you need to know is if something comes up here that you wish you didn't hear, or you really would rather not have it be a part of your manifestation, you have free will. You can make some different decisions. You can propel things in such a way so as to have things turn out differently than what I'm seeing here in the cards. Just because I see it does not mean that it's written in stone. And that's the beautiful thing about having a heads up or getting a reading ahead of time, is that if you feel something coming in that you know you really would rather not experience, you do have free will and you kind of know, oh yeah, that was on the way in. What can I do to either minimize that or to change it completely and start working that way? So, having said all of that, let's get your reading going. The first thing that I see is talking to me about your environment, and your environment is any place where you have energy or effort invested. And I'm seeing that there are things moving very, very quickly in your environment. Now, environment is usually home, but I have seen it come up also as work or as school as well sometimes. So, environment, things moving very quickly around you, lots of changes going on, hard time maybe even keeping up with everything that's going on. This could literally be remodeling your home or making some changes to your home. This could also be remodeling at your workplace or at your school, but also this could be about, um, gosh, I forgot. There was another thing coming in. What else could this be? This could be just about you coming and going a lot. This could be about you in and out a lot, and every time you come in and out, you know, if you, especially if you share this environment with other people, things being different, different, different. But things changing a lot in your environment is what I have coming up for this particular life cycle in April. Now, subconscious leanings. What are you working on subconsciously in this life cycle? There is a new beginning that you would like to have. You would like to go back to, or you would like to have a renewal in a way that you used to feel about something. For some of you, I feel like this renewal is coming in the area of jobs, of projects, of something that you used to feel really good about and you would like to feel really good about again, but some of the magic or the sparkle is kind of gone. For a lot of you, this is going to have to do with relationships where the magic or sparkle is gone, and your subconscious is working on, okay, how can I bring new life back into that? Okay, now let's see, learning style as you go through this particular life cycle. I feel like there's a lot of observation going on here. So you're doing a lot of picking up information just by observing what's going on around you, being alert, paying attention, just observation. I feel like you're just picking up information like a sponge. Now, as far as communication, very direct with your communication. I do feel like there are some things that you're holding back on. You're kind of, to me, it feels like there are certain things in this life cycle that you're kind of waiting to see how they turn out. And so you're sort of, I almost get the sense that you're giving somebody just enough rope to see if they're going to hang themselves with it or not. And it's like you're waiting to see what they'll do. And if they do something that makes you feel betrayed or offended, I feel like then you're going to be very direct. It's going to be head on. It's going to be swift communication. swift consequences even, and there's going to be no doubt where you stand with this situation. If they don't hang themselves with this rope, if they act with honor and with integrity, I think you're still going to be very direct with the communication. You may not really tell them, though, that you've been sort of testing them, but I feel like you will be very direct with them. And I feel like you'll know that they have earned your trust. And that's interesting that it's coming up for you, Capricorn, because I'm a Scorpio. Us Scorpios, we usually do more of those kind of tests on people. So it's interesting to see that you are in this particular situation, Capricorn. Now, let's see. Let's move on. What we have, what else do we have? This next card talks to me about work, and this is telling me that well, first of all, work can be one of two things, and you need to know that with me when I read. Work can be the way that you're making a living. It also can be what you're doing to improve your own inner character. Okay, so what I have right now for work is that you're doing a lot of working alone, and I feel like you may be a little bit lonely. You may be a little bit resenting that you're doing this work alone. So it may be that if this is in a place of business that you're working, it may be that a coworker has called in a few different times, or calls in at least, you know, it just, there's something, maybe they're on vacation and you're working alone, but your normal people that you collaborate with are not around you, definitely. And same thing if you're running a business. The normal people that you collaborate are not around. You're kind of having to wing it by yourself, is what I'm seeing during this particular life cycle. The other way that this comes in, if this is inner work on yourself, to me this feels like realizing that you have something that you want to change, that you want to fix about yourself, and feeling a little bit overwhelmed, not really knowing where to start with this. So that's what I would feel about if this is inner work coming in. For some of you, it's going to be inner work. For some of you, it is going to be how you make a living. For a few of you, it'll actually resonate as both of those. The next thing that I'm looking at is that part of you that's being grown or expanded right now. And it looks like you're really feeling kind of out of touch. You're feeling out of touch with that sacred source of information. You're feeling out of touch with reality. And so the part of you that's being grown is that part of getting comfortable in that place of being out of touch, letting that be whatever it's going to be, and just knowing that it's only temporary. And also not only knowing that it's only temporary and letting it be what it's going to be, but also doing things to minimize that out of touch feeling. So this is just reminding yourself that this is just temporary. Seems like there's more I need to say, and I'm having a hard time wrapping words around it. This has to do with following the things that make you happy, and it has to do with a lot of negative emotion. I'm feeling a lot of heaviness around this card, and part of the lesson is, you know, how to navigate that heaviness, how to navigate that feeling of being out of touch. In other words, how to get back into touch with Sacred Spirit. And I feel like that's what you're learning, like how to go from that place of feeling like so far away to coming into that place feeling like, okay, I've got my connection back. All right, so the next thing that I'm looking at talks about those things that you stand for. This card is influenced by Mars, means that you would stand up for these things with great enthusiasm, possibly even aggression, given, you know, if somebody pushes you too far. But what we actually have here is this is you being in a place of knowing what it is that you want, knowing how it is that you want to get that thing or those things. And I feel like you have people coming against you telling you, you know, well, basically to bottom line it, they're basically saying, who are you to think that you deserve such things? Who are you to think you're good enough to have this? Who are you to think you're smart enough to have this? Those types of things. And I feel like you're in a strong place. You're in a strong enough place to say to them, you know what? Who are you to say that I can't or that I'm not? get lost. Okay? Now, how other people perceive you right now. Other people see you right now as having energy scattered. It's like you've got a lot of different projects going on and you can't quite focus on priorities or really pick a priority. So people see you as being somebody who's kind of scattered, who's putting out a lot of energy in a lot of different places. Now, the lesson or experience as we come through this life cycle, Capricorns, has to do with self-esteem. I feel like there's an experience where you have to go from low self-esteem and bring that upwards. Start heading that upwards. Remember earlier I was talking about somebody coming to you and saying, well, who are you to want such things? Who are you to think you're worthy of such things? I feel like there's some people like that in your life that are kind of getting to you and you're kind of going, you know what, maybe they're right. What if I'm not? Maybe you're not even saying out loud. Maybe it's just thoughts you're having in the back of your head. What if I'm not worthy? You know, what if the universe really doesn't want the best for me? What if what if that's really not the best for me? Maybe what if the best for me is being in sackcloth and ashes? You know, it's the whole double questioning of everything that you've thought, everything that you've felt. It's just second guessing, second guessing, second guessing. That's the experience I see you coming through. And what you're doing as you come through this experience is you're learning to pull yourself up out of that mess and out of that pit, because it's really a pit when you start thinking those thoughts. So as you pull yourself up out of that, what happens? Let's take a peek. Excuse me. So first thing that comes up is it looks like there was some kind of new start in your life that has kind of lost its razzle dazzle. It's lost its sparkle, but it still has promise for what it is. It's just not as much fun as it was when it was new. I see you moving forward with that. The other thing is you have a big decision to make, and we're talking about a life-altering decision. So this is something that can have to do with significant relationships. This can be something that has to do with the business that you own, can be what has to do with investments that you make. This can have to do with the job that you work and if you want to keep working that job or not. Can have to do with what direction you're taking the business that you own. So for a lot of you, this is going to manifest a lot of different ways, but this is a big decision that I see you making. And I see you making it after you come out of that pit. Come out of the pit first, then make this decision. Don't make this decision while you're still in the pit. Make this decision when you're feeling empowered and at your best. Because when you make a decision and you're feeling really low, then that's gonna be a decision that later on you're gonna say, wow, I really could have shot for way up here, but instead I settled for way down here. You don't want to do that. You want to wait till you're feeling really good before you make a decision like that. And then ultimate fulfillment of this life cycle is actually doing a balancing act, balancing things out. So whatever this decision was that you made, it puts you in a situation where now you have to balance. Maybe you're balancing family time and work time. Maybe you're balancing the budget to be able to support this new project that you're doing and to be able to pay your normal bills. But there's some kind of balance that comes into play at the end of this life cycle, and it will manifest in different ways for different ones of you Capricorns. So anyway, that is one look at one life cycle in the month of April for you guys. I do appreciate all of you stopping by, hanging out, liking, sharing, subscribing, and commenting. Everyone have a fantastic month. I will see you back here the next time. Peace out.